So now being joined live by Jessica. Thank you so much. She's joining us live from the Capitol Hill. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us. Now, we were just discussing how this inauguration speech would perhaps be different from Trump's first one. What is your expectation from this?
Well, rest assured, we here at VOA are trying very, very hard to get copies of the script. The only advanced copy that has been released, or excerpts that have been released, has gone to the Wall Street Journal, and that's where we've seen that there will be this theme of a revolution of common sense, which really speaks more to the cultural zeitgeist of the reason that Trump got elected, especially countering wokeism, this idea that you can't confront people or speak civilly, you just cancel them. These are things, and some of the government policies that he's going to get rid of fall under that umbrella. But the other thing that has to do, of course, with common sense is the reason that more Americans crossed over to vote for Donald Trump. Inflation, gas prices, egg prices. We still have egg prices going up. I think $5 or $6 a dozen, which is expensive for the United States. And so these are the things that we expect to hear him talk about, very much in contrast to the dark and dismal picture he painted 8 years ago from the Capitol Hill when he made his inauguration speech in 2017. So we do think that we're going to hear a much more hopeful, progressive vision. And I don't mean progressive in the sense of some of the policies so much as just a moving forward. And in this case, that's really a reversal of many of the Biden policies. That's what we're expecting to see him begin to sign the moment he is sworn into office.
Right. Now, Jessica, another thing to watch out for here. We heard Joe Biden in his farewell speech warn of a tech industrial complex or oligarchy. We saw a few minutes ago Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos at the Capitol Rotunda as well. We know Elon Musk is going to have a greater role in Trump 2.0. How do you assess Biden's comments?
Well, I think that, he's in a dark place. I think we've seen reporting and indications that he is certainly still believes that he could have beat Donald Trump in this election, that he's still justifying his decision to run despite the obvious difficulties he's having with his speech and with his movement. And he is talking about control of the oligarchy. But, the counter narrative to that would be who has been in control of Washington for the last 4 years. It's been the elite, the political establishment. These are the kinds of messages that Trump ran on and won. So the American public has voted, and they have said, we want someone who operates, in their estimation, in this world of a revolution of common sense, in a world of not being elite, right? Like the working class and the middle class of the United States really stood up, and they are people that have voted for Donald Trump and support Donald Trump and his message. So these oligarchs, it's also hearkening back, I believe, to the Ukrainian oligarchs, which really chaps the rear end of some of those folks in the Trump orbit, because that's exactly what led to his first impeachment trial. I would point out, though, that, these are the same tech titans who fell all in line for Biden 4 years ago. So while it's important to note and be cautious of their involvement in government and their access to government, these are innovators. Think about Starlink. Think about SpaceX. Think about Blue Origins. These are innovators, and this is what this country needs to move forward. And I would point out to the Indian audience watching us, that is the companies that will have the H-1B visas that will bring you to the United States to be able to work here and lend your innovation to the economy of the United States. So this is not an economic promise that Trump can make without the help of the tech sector, and bringing them into an economy and into a vision for the U.S. economy to grow and prosper. We're no longer in an age where you can just manufacture your way back to prosperity. You have to have technology at the ready.
All right, Jessica, I also wanted to discuss, international relations have been under the scanner as well. How these evolve under Trump administration, that is something that will be a key area of attention and focus as well. We know Chinese Vice President is in Washington to attend the inauguration. But there is anxiety among the neighbors as well, with China, Mexico, Canada, even in Europe. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think that this is a normal response to the kinds of rhetoric that have come out of Donald Trump's mouth. I mean, talking about taking over islands like Greenland or taking over countries like Canada. These are not the words of someone with whom they are used to dealing, certainly in the past. And so there will be a reshuffling of alliances, of proximity. It may well be like the first 4 years of the Trump presidency, where so many things are established based on a personal relationship, like the personal relationship between Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump. Or it also may be that as so much is orienting U.S. foreign policy is this getting away from these longstanding wars, particularly now in the Middle East as well as in Europe, and moving towards an overarching goal and aim of countering China. That would put India back in the orbit, certainly of Donald Trump, as it has been in the orbit of Joe Biden, building on the first 4 years of the Trump administration. And it would also mean that the nature of the trade relationships with the United States have to continue to change so that Chinese goods cannot come in through places like Mexico, where they're building car factories. That they can't come in through cheap goods and flood the market in Europe, a key trading partner for the United States. And so I think what you'll see is an orienting around that concept, and that will affect alliances. And certainly this is a transactional president. This is a guy who wants to make a deal. So everything has to be put through that lens. This is not about moral high ground or who's right and who's wrong. It's about, can you get to an agreement that helps the United States? That's the lens that these allies need to now look through.
Absolutely, Jessica. Also to let our viewers know that these are the live visuals that we're getting from the Capitol Rotunda. A few minutes ago, we saw the Clintons arrive, the Bushes arrived as well. And here you can see everyone eagerly waiting for President-elect Donald Trump. Just a few minutes ago, we also saw President Joe Biden arrive at the Capitol Rotunda. In a few minutes from now, Trump will be taking the oath of office. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance will take oath of office first and will be followed by President-elect Donald Trump, who, as we've been discussing, is expected to issue a slew of executive orders that will set the tone for 4 years of his Make America Great Again agenda. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.